HOA Karen tried to evict me. So I bought the bank that owns her mortgage. Living near an HOA Karen is already a challenge. But nothing could have prepared me for the day she tried to evict me. And the twist? I ended up owning the bank that holds her mortgage. It all began when Karen, armed with the full force of her self-appointed HOA authority, issued an eviction notice. According to her, I had violated multiple community rules, from landscaping to fence height to parking, and now I had to vacate my property immediately. The audacity was staggering. I had been meticulous in following every regulation, but Karen's entitlement had no bounds. I calmly reviewed the notice. It was riddled with vague language, dubious citations, and legal jargon that made it clear Karen hadn't consulted a lawyer. She had relied solely on her sense of power. I knew then that this wasn't just a petty HOA feud, it was a full-blown overreach. Instead of responding with anger, I began a quiet, strategic plan. I knew which bank serviced Karen's mortgage. Over the next few months, I carefully acquired shares, attending shareholder meetings, buying stock quietly, and gradually consolidating influence. It wasn't fast, but patience was key. Meanwhile, Karen continued her attempts at intimidation. Letters, threats, neighborhood gossip, and more. She didn't suspect that every step she took was being carefully documented, not just for legal defense, but for future leverage. Finally, after months of careful maneuvering, I achieved controlling interest in the bank that held her mortgage. The irony was delicious. Karen, who had tried to assert power over me with eviction notices, was now financially dependent on my decisions. Every payment she made, every term she agreed to, was under my authority. When I revealed this to her, calmly, without theatrics, the reaction was priceless. Karen went pale. I don't understand, she stammered. I smiled. You tried to evict me for imaginary violations. I bought the bank that owns your mortgage. The tables have turned. Neighbors quickly got wind of the story, and Karen's reputation plummeted. Her sense of authority evaporated overnight. The HOA board had no choice but to formally reprimand her for her repeated overreach, and Karen was left powerless, both socially and financially. Meanwhile, I remained on my property, enjoying the quiet victory. The moral wasn't just revenge, it was strategic patience and clever thinking. Karen had tried to weaponize her HOA entitlement against me, but I had turned the situation completely around, leveraging her own financial dependencies for poetic justice. From that day forward, she avoided me entirely. Every time she mailed her mortgage payment, it was a quiet reminder that entitlement has limits, and that sometimes patience and strategy are far more powerful than anger. The moral? HOA Karens can try to bully their neighbors, but clever thinking and a little financial acumen can turn even the most audacious threats into a lesson in humility and ironic justice.